Well, let me give you a little credibility for Shaklee Corporation and give you some insight into why I think this could be a terrific alignment for you. First of all, we've been the nutritional consultants for the U.S. ski team and U.S. snowboarding for about 30 years now. The last Winter Games in Vancouver, the U.S. won 28 medals. 21 of those medals, 6 of which were gold, were won by Shaklee-powered athletes. Had you counted Shaklee-powered athletes as a country, we'd have come in 4th in the world in medal winnings. That's extraordinary when you think about it. Let me point out some specific folks to you because I think these are pretty impressive. In the last Winter Olympics, Billy DeMong was the first American to ever win in the combined Nordic event. He took the gold. He's been using Shaklee for years. Gary Hall in Athens took the gold in the 50-meter freestyle. He's a type 1 diabetic from birth. Everybody told him he could never compete on the world stage. He attributes his success to Shaklee Nutrition. Kent Bostic, one of my heroes because I'm a cyclist, qualified for the U.S. Olympic cycling team in Atlanta at age 47. Most cyclist careers are over at about 32 or 33 years old, and at age 47, he qualifies for the U.S. Olympic team. He attributes it to Shaklee Nutrition. On top of that, Time Life a few years ago published what they called the 25 greatest adventures of all time. And of those 25, 7 of them were powered by Shaklee products. The first American ascent of Mount Everest without oxygen took Shaklee to the top of the world. The Daedalus Project, where they set the world record for human-powered flight, this was almost 20 years ago. It is yet to be broken, powered by Shaklee. The first nonstop flight around the world in the Voyager, 2 people in a cockpit about the size of a phone booth for 11 days, ate Shaklee all the way around the world. Will Steiger's 3 record-breaking solo polar expeditions used Shaklee the whole time. On top of that, we have been the consultants to NASA and provided the rehydration drink for the astronauts since 1993. We have an amazing amount of credibility in this industry, but there's also a lot of science behind what we do. We have what we call the landmark study that was conducted by the University of California, Berkeley School of Public Health. For many years, I think it's almost 20 years now, they have conducted a study called the National Health and Nutrition Examination Study, in which they've looked at the health status of Americans and broken them into 2 groups, people who take supplements and people who don't. We went to them about 5 years ago and asked if they would consider taking a group of Shaklee people who have used Shaklee supplements for 20 years or more, so it would be similar to the study that had already been conducted for several years, plug them into the study, do the same blood work, do the same epidemiological studies, do the same dietary surveys, and compare the Shaklee users to the other 2 groups. Now here's some fascinating things that fell out of that study. And by the way, we are the only company in our industry with independent proof that our products do work. Independent proof. But here's what I want to point out to you. The average age in the group that takes no supplements was 53 years old. The average age who were taking other brands of supplements besides Shaklee was 58. The average age of the Shaklee group was 63. So we were 10 years older than this group, 5 years older than this group. All other things being equal, you would expect the Shaklee group to have more health problems just because they were older. But here's what I want you to look at. Diabetes, heart attacks, congestive heart failure, stroke, coronary heart disease, and emphysema. In all of these categories, what you will discover is the Shaklee group was dramatically healthier than the other 2 groups. For diabetes, 8.5% here, 11.1% here, 2.9% here. That's 1/3 of this and only 1/4 of this. 4.4, 7.6, and 2.5 for heart attacks. 3.5, 2.8, 1.4. I mean, the numbers are nothing short of astounding. You hear medical reporters on TV get all excited about some discovery that will lower your risk of heart disease by 7% or 11%. Nobody ever heard of lowering it by 50% or lowering it by almost 70%. That's extraordinary when you think about it. So when you look at these numbers, the first thing you pick up is the Shaklee group, even though dramatically older than these other 2 groups, is also dramatically healthier than the other 2 groups. But there's something I want you to notice. Highlighted in yellow, you have probably already picked up on the fact that the people taking no supplements are healthier than the people taking other brands of supplements besides Shaklee. There is so much stuff out there in the marketplace that not only cannot build health, but is actually detrimental to your health, and the average consumer has no idea what it is or how to figure it out. And yet look at this. In diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and coronary heart disease, people who were taking nothing were doing better than people trying to do the right thing for their health. And yet the Shaklee group in every single category is significantly healthier. That's pretty exciting stuff when you think about it. So why is there such a difference? Well, let's look at competitors' products versus Shaklee products. First of all, they have little or no quality control. And in most cases, it's no quality control. Whereas Shaklee does over 83,000 quality control tests per year, and a very significant number on just the raw materials before they ever start manufacturing the products. According to Consumer Reports, EOS Mileplex Original Dark Chocolate Shake and 2 versions of Muscle Milk chocolate drinks had high levels of arsenic, cadmium, and lead. That would never happen with a Shaklee product because, guess what? We test for that kind of stuff. We would never allow it in our products. Of 58 brands of protein drinks they tested, 25% had steroid contamination and 11% for other banned substances. Never happens with Shaklee. And here's the interesting thing. The party line of the U.S. Olympic Committee is they do not want their athletes taking supplements for these very reasons. Because number one, they're taking things that they think are going to help them. They're supposedly safe, that are supposedly natural, and yet they can be banned from a sport because they test positive for steroids and other banned substances. And yet, we've been consultants to the U.S. Olympic snowboard and ski team for 30 years. Why? Because they trust us. There's no clinical research done on other competitors' products. Shaklee always tests their products in people to see if they work. 90% of the ingredients used by other manufacturers come from China. I don't know how you feel about the quality of what comes from China, but guess what? If you don't do these kind of tests, you have no idea what's in your products. There are lots of people who like to go to nutritionists to have a personal program designed for them, but these folks have no way to control and no way to test the quality, and considering most of what they use is coming from very suspect places. The top 10 brands of omega-3 contain PCBs and or mercury. That includes brands like GNC, CVS, Solgar, etc. Shaklee, it would never happen. Why? Because we test for that stuff. We found carcinogenic fungicides in ginseng 2 years in a row. There was an ingredient in 2 of our major products. We refused to sell those products for 2 years, and yet every crop that we rejected was bought by other manufacturers and sold to the American public, even though those carcinogenic fungicides were at levels as high as 40 times higher than the FDA considers safe. The FDA itself, about a year and a half ago, tested 324 prenatal and children's vitamins. Now you got to wonder, 324 prenatal and children's. In other words, these are very small human beings who are more susceptible to contaminants than full-grown adults would be, and 100%, every single one that they tested contained lead. With Shaklee, of course it won't happen because we do the testing. There is a huge difference. So why would you align yourself with Shaklee? Because you can trust the products to work and make a difference for people. So what does that mean for you as a professional? What does that mean for you in building a business? Well, by incorporating the right supplements into your practice, you're going to find that your clients respond better to your training. They're going to end up with better health. They'll get better results and get them faster. They're going to end up being more loyal to you because of that. And even after they've reached their fitness goals, they will continue to provide a residual income for you because they will continue to use the supplements. Whether you're still their personal trainer or not, as long as they continue to maintain their health with supplements they know make a difference, you will be earning an income. That's pretty exciting stuff. But you see, best of all, you've got a built-in client base. You've got people who already care enough about their health that they're doing something about it. They're going to be much more receptive to moving into these other arenas to improve their health than the average American would be.